And this is a match we've seen, right? Simple and Blue, they were champions in Winters. Addy and Cake, they are the champions. BCX and beyond. This could go to anyone right now, but I feel like Addy and Cake, they've been looking so strong throughout this tournament in a way that we've seen before, but feels like it's kind of been a while, and it's a bit overdue, but we're gonna see it today. Addy on the Vow, Cake on Koji. We're going into it. Winners finals. Cake Addy, Simple Blue.
I think nothing about this first match is a surprise. We see the legend picks are exactly the same. We see Mammoth
Cake?
Fortress once again.
Oh my
But
god!
what is a surprise is Blue losing his first stock within 15 seconds. Blue was the one that was hanging on in complete control. But also he was in complete control on stage. The moment he was brought off stage, Cake and Addy take full advantage, catch him out of his jumps, interrupt the dodge, get a little clash, and Blue is suddenly trailing the rest of the players.
It was so, like, he got the ground pound on the push-off call and immediately reverted back to the wall ground pound, and that was all he needed to get that kill on the Blue. That being said, Simple watches his teammate die and says, I will avenge you, and gets rid of Cake and Addy in quick fashion, continues to keep his first stock.
That was a great interrupt on the neutral sig by Blue. Simple was gonna be comboed off the top, but Blue's like, you know what, I got you, and he hits him with the guitar downlight, extends the stock from Simple a little bit, and gets some damage on the Blue team. And despite Blue losing his stock really early, he's doing work. He's right back into the slew of things. Is that a phrase?
Ooh, Cake! Cake's offstage play is crazy!
That's two gimps. That's two gimps.
Two very early gimps. Blue, he tried to come back in, but Addy had Cake's back, made sure it didn't happen, killed him off the top. Addy and Cake regained the lead.
And with how much we were praising Blue and Simple's on-stage control in the last set they played, off-stage it seems like Addy and Cake just got their number.
Is he gonna do it again?
Oh wait.
He just hits Addy a few times and said, listen, get off my back, I'm doing the edge guarding today.
Oh yeah, that was nice movement from Simple. He recognized that Cake was not in position to get that ground pound, and he dodges up. And Simple, a second shot at life, a second shot at the game. We'll see if they can make it work against Addy and Cake here.
It really, like, this game's tempo has been Cake doing something crazy, and then Simple and Blue making it back. And it's a struggle to make it back, but they've been doing it pretty effectively. You know, Addy and Cake got Blue and Simple down to last stock first, but now Simple and Blue have pretty much evened up the damage.
Yeah, again, that's sort of the story of the game, is that offstage, Addy and Cake have been running away with it, and then on the stage, Simple and Blue have been running away with it. And that's why, like, 2 minutes into the game, we see all players pretty much in kill percent in their last stock.
Ooh, Addy got Simple off stage. He was wondering whether he should go for the continued edgeguard play or come back around for Blue. Made the decision to stay, but instead Cake is going to get knocked out. Addy is down to figure out the 1v2 situation, but very doable here. Everyone is near kill percentage at the very least. Addy looking for that side sig, but he is going to get pretty hard punished for it. Simple throwing his weapon out, I think, to try to catch Addy, but he's put himself in a dangerous position, and the side sig from Addymestic, catching both of them out at the same time.
So... that whole game was just like, what? I don't.
Egg is at a loss for words, man. The neutralite from Simple spelling death for the red team, and Addy immediately finding the option he needed to. Anything else and it wouldn't have been enough, but that side sig had the big hitbox to catch both of them and kill them right off the bat.
What do you? So Blue. All right, I need to break this down for my sanity. So Blue goes for a ground pound, an axe ground pound, like almost in the center of the map, in neutral, and then Simple hits Blue out of the ground pound, locking him in hit stun, and then Addy can just get a side. Yeah.
I agree with everything you're thinking and saying. And I gotta say, Addy's the clutch king. Like, Addy has made so many 1v2s today, it's incredible. As we go on to this next game, you know what I'm watching for? I'm watching for Cake to get a gimp. I'm watching to see if Blue and Simple can maintain their
damage
stage control.
back.
They're on Blackguard Keep now, right? Like, this map, I think, favors Blue and simple a lot more. They have so much more
completely
map
agree, yeah.
to basically use, and all they want is more map.
Cake and Addy just hitting Blue around, hitting him up, then hitting him back down. But Addy knocked off stage. We'll see if simple and Blue can clean it up. No, he goes high. Cake goes low. Both are knocked off stage once again. Again, I do think that this map is very heavily favored for Blue and Simple's style, especially because even if they get knocked off stage, they got those platforms there, and
The side
can't
stick
die
from
super
Addy.
early if you got that little helper. Is
It
it
got
Core? Is Core the
interrupted?
one that helps him out?
Well,
It's in the lore somewhere.
no one's really sure.
Either way, Blue and Simple, Addy and Cake. What more could you ask for from the winners finals? It's so even. It's so close. I mean, at this point in the last game, we already saw like 4 stocks gone. So, you know, at least this one, I can breathe a little more.
Ooh, Cake going for that ground pound. It clashed out. Simple's gone. That's
like
the
the
first
third
stock
time Simple's
taken.
been done in by a clash off stage. From that bow ground pound, I think it's done it twice. So
You
Cake definitely
Mentioned
on
last
point with the
time
spacing.
that in 2 minutes, everyone went down to their last stock. This game is a lot slower. I think Blackguard definitely has something to do with it. Simple and Blue have basically made stage control the name of the game here.
100%, yeah. Blackguard is definitely a map where if you've got a lot of space to work with, it's just going to end up being longer just by the nature of how you play. Especially compared to the last game when it was like 3 gimps in a row. So definitely no surprise in the length of the game here. Like,
And that's what Blue
what
and
will be a
Simple won.
surprise is if Cake and Addy can somehow manage to beat Blue and Simple on this on-stage game, because that's definitely where they were getting slapped up in the last one.
Ooh, Cake off stage, he's gonna do just fine up against Blue's pressure. Simple's pressure. Blue goes for a gravity cancel neutral signature, immediately gets punished for it, and you could see like for a brief moment there, both Blue and Simple thought, hey, let's try to edge guard Cake and Addy, and it just didn't work.
It was a little unorthodox from Blue as well. I don't really see him go for those GC off stage very often, so you know maybe that's what he was betting on, that Addy and Cake wouldn't expect it, but it was good spacing from those two. And like I said, Blue and Simple seem to be in control despite it being pretty even. They've got the stocks cleaned up, and that's the 2v2 force reduction. Blue didn't die from that neutral sig.
He was also
Addy
looking
did.
for an unarmed nair there. He wanted to catch Addy out of hit stun. He didn't even need it.
Cake in a dangerous spot because a good axe side sig from Ragnar from the edge of this map will definitely, you know, take him out. I'll take him out.
And
So
that's
Cake's
it.
got to be careful. Addy's got to be the clutch king once again and put on a lot of pressure without Cake taking too much damage. I think that's their game plan right about now.
And you gotta think, Cake, he's probably not feeling as great about this game so far. I mean, he basically didn't get any of the big plays that he was finding in that last game, and I think that has to do with the way Simple and Blue play, the way that we're on Blackguard now, and map control, map pick is going to be huge as we go into this next game. Simple and Blue looking so good. Game number 2, it's very even between these two teams here in Winners Finals.
Cake's the kind of player that when I see the damage numbers at the end of the game, I'm always like, he got like 678 damage? How'd that happen? But this game,
The Barbara's
he
coming
was
out.
lurking in the low 400s.
It's the
And-
Barbara.
Oh. So he's pulling out the axe.
All right.
He's done with sword. He's done with bow.
All right.
Pulling out the Barbara. So I
I'm liking
played
this.
Addy and Cake at final round, and
All right. Tell me, what are the strats?
Cake's axe, he swings. That I'll put it like
He
that.
swings, everyone.
He swings.
If he wasn't swinging, I'd be a little bit concerned. I'm not gonna lie.
That's true. True. Well, I mean, he swings a lot, and against a team like Simple and Blue, who are really keen on their spacing, I'm not
they've
sure
got
if
him
the
off stage.
axe swinging will be the best, especially since they both also have axe. But the spear, on the other hand, I think will play very well into this Simple and Blue style, especially since he can space above them, he can space through them with those nairs and those dares, as we just saw. I think it's a good pick.
Ooh, Simple really looking for those Bryn Sigs, but
Yeah, we
Cake,
saw right away.
Cake has
Cake throws away
alternate
the
Bryn
axe.
Sigs.
Oh yeah, it is both Bryn. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so Cake read the DI up because there were 2 Gauntlet Neutralites, and instead of going for a side stick, he goes for a neutral stick. That was very good awareness from Cake and Addy.
Oh, I thought they were gonna get another one.
Team combo. Addy barely
Alright,
missing out.
alright. Addy cannot find that nair after the Axe Neutralite. I think he's expecting there to be more damage put out on these 2 players.
I think a dare might be a better option there, because it's out for a little longer. Yeah, he goes for the dare that time.
And then there's the nair to compensate for the DI. So Addy and Cake have their formula down, but simpLe and Blue really trying to basically bring it back down to brass tacks, to neutral that they're used to, and they're struggling.
And even though they didn't really finish any of those potential team combos, the amount of damage they got was still pretty huge. And that's why Blue and simpLe right now are in kill percent effectively. Addy and Cake, for what I said about offstage versus onstage, they're the ones that seem to be in complete control on stage now, and it's probably because of this Bryn pick,
I think they've just
difference.
Split red team up really well, right? Like, they had a moment there where they got the 2v1 combo onto simpLe. As soon as simpLe got knocked out, they started on Blue. As soon as Blue got knocked out, they started on simpLe. Right? Like, that's the sort of thing where Blue and simpLe can no longer go to neutral.
And that was a great awareness from Cake, doing that downlight to Sarah, and despite
white health on everyone.
Yeah, Addy just lost his first stock, like 2.5 minutes in, and I don't know what to say. I mean, these gauntlets, I've been hearing a lot of gauntlet sounds. That's all I'm saying. A lot of gauntlet hit sounds.
Oh
and
man, but axe sounds coming out from Blue. He's gonna be hitting him quite a lot. Like, Cake and Blue are just swinging away right now on this axe on both ends, and simpLe, he's taking quite a bit of damage from Cake's axe, but Blue is returning the favor.
It seems like Cake has been favoring this spear, and I can't blame him. Like, 3 axes is definitely way more of a wildcard scenario than another weapon, so he's going for that option.
Oh.
He got caught out of the downlight, but an interrupt, unfortunately for simpLe, and Addy and Cake, despite Cake being in kill percent, still look very comfortable in taking this game. If Cake's taken out, they're still in red, and Addy's super fresh.
Cake is taking so much damage here, but it doesn't matter. Like you said, Addy is just fresh on his first stock, or sorry, his last stock, and he's just gonna be looking for the classic bread and butter sidelight recovery, and another recovery for Addymestic. 2-1 in favor of Cake and Addy.
Cake got 5 KOs.
Cake?
5, and that's the damage that I was expecting from Cake. I was mentioning in the last game.
It's the play.
Bryn definitely the pick. I don't think there's a doubt in anyone's mind now.
No, not Bryn. It's Barbara. Those special SIG effects help Cake win. I'm just kidding. There's no pay to win.
You don't know what legend it is?
There's no pay to win. There's no pay to win. But, I mean, yeah,
what are you trying to suggest, Creed?
Red team is eyeing that Barbara and going, I mean, this is just something completely different. How do you deal with it?
3, 2, 1. I guess you deal with it by getting Cake
We're
off
going
the
to
spear, every time he got axe, he threw it away for that spear, and the spear was doing work.
What do you think of Shipwreck, right? Like, is this the Cake and Addy play?
It's definitely a comfort pick. Cake and Addy, again, they love the flat maps, and they also like Great Hall, so it's no surprise to see them pick this. And I do think that it helps them out, although killing with gauntlets can be difficult off the top if they enter that deep red. At the same time, you can get really early offstage kills because the wall is a lot shorter, which might be what they're thinking. Because of game 1, they got a lot of those offstage kills. But either way, I think it's a fairly even map between these 2 different teams and their compositions. So it makes sense that both teams, one of them would leave them open, the other one would pick it.
Cake does get knocked out very early on, and you can see Addy like trying to stay to one side, avoid getting hit with any sort of 2v1, wait for his teammate to get back. That being said, Cake is struggling to find a weapon. Alright, he's got the spear, but Addy gets knocked out instead, and yet again, this time, I talked earlier about how in the last game, Addy and Cake basically split up simpLe and Blue and started killing them one after another. It feels like the pace has changed, and now it's the opposite direction. But Cake and Addy find their stride again. They kill off simpLe, and they get Blue out just as quickly, and it's a very even game here.
Blue ground pounds to the bottom of the map there. He knew he was dead, and so he wanted to spawn in faster so that simpLe would be in a 2v1 for like less time. So that was smart from Blue. Ground pounds to the bottom of the map. He's like, hey teammate, I'm here, alright? I got you. But even though he's here right now, Addy and Cake seem to be tacking on a lot of damage. Addy going a little ham with that ground pound off stage. Blue's like, alright, just slaps him back with that Sair. And Addy and Cake, like what you were saying with the sandwich, it seems like they're getting back into it. Back into the sandwich. Maybe the first stocks they were like, a little unsure. It's a new environment, it's a new map, Mammoth Fortress, they don't have that platform, it's a little more space on stage, but it definitely seems like they're splitting them up right now and putting on the damage.
I gotta say, Cake has been really struggling in the last 30 seconds. Like, simpLe hit Cake with multiple side airs, and then as soon as simpLe disengaged and got killed, Blue came in and followed up, and Cake gets knocked out. His second stock got slowly but surely demolished. And I think that's really good for Red Team, taking out Cake quick and early so they can start working on Addy, who of course is the clutch master. It's something you really gotta be careful of.
And that's the Cake and Addy team. It's Addy he's in control all the time and Cake kind of goes ham. I was saying that Cake often stock tanks, but at least in this set right now, we haven't been seeing it. And simpLe and Blue. Again, Blue was the stock tank in the last sets, and now it doesn't seem like it. It's definitely a mix-up, and when you're playing super high-level teams, a lot of the time your game plan doesn't exactly go the way that you think it will. You gotta think on the fly, you gotta play on the fly, and you gotta do something else on the fly. I couldn't think of the third thing, Creed.
But the question is, which of these teams has the fly swatter?
Okay. I mean, if you look at that axe neutral, it looks like they're swatting something.
simpLe does send Cake way off stage. He's going to be looking for the edge guard here. Blue had Addy distracted, but simpLe was not able to find it. Cake staying alive. Blue taking the least amount of damage. Cake does get knocked out. It's down to Addy. The weapon throw is going to be so hard. Addy cannot get back. The weapon throw seals the deal.
Kill.
We're going to a game number 5 here. Blue and simpLe against Addymestic and Cake. Such a close set. Winners finals. Who is going to be able to make it to Grands?
And I don't think we expected anything less from these two teams. A game 5 in winners finals. We'll see if Cake switches up the legend pick again. I think you were mentioning it throughout the game is that the Barbara wasn't... He seemed to struggle a little bit, especially like compared to the game right before where he was just swinging that... Well, okay, never mind. Everything I just said, never mind.
Barbara, come back.
You know what? I'm a fan. The
I believe
Rayman
in
crossover
Barbara.
skins. We gotta see more of them. We saw a little Rayman from Daz. Now we're seeing a little Barbara. Now the real kicker will be if Blue pills out the glow box. Okay. I'm waiting for it.
Is that the kicker? Wait a minute. I don't know about that one. We're in game number 5.
I think there's a less than 0% chance that happens.
That's not possible. It's not a number we can hit. I believe Blue can do the glow box in a timeline. It's there. It exists. But unfortunately, that is not the timeline we're going to be seeing today. simpLe and Blue back on it with the Bryn and the Ragnir. Cake's on Barbara. Addy has not switched off the Val. We're in game number 5. Who's going to take it? It's anyone's guess. We're a Mammoth Fortress. This is as standard of a map pick as it gets.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Addy and Cake won every game they've played on Mammoth Fortress.
This is
simpLe and Blue
not standard anymore. Addy and Cake, this is their map.
Yeah, for sure. Because once they went to that Blackguard, it definitely favored state control a lot more. Once they went to that Shipwreck, they got sandwiched a little bit. Maybe they made a sandwich for a stock or two, but ended up not going in their favor. But Mammoth, for sure, they're map of choice. I was gonna say they're deli of choice, but I wasn't going that far with the analogy.
All right, simpLe and Blue both off stage. Addy and Cake looking for the edge guard. Cake finds it with the ground pound, but simpLe punishes it with his recovery. Oh, the recovery gets stuffed. He gets knocked out. Blue punishes, gets the trade, gets knocked out. Addy and Cake, simpLe and Blue are very even now. It's going to be up to who can live longer, Blue or Addy. Addy gets killed by that recovery. Now Blue and simpLe are going to start carrying it away. Cake gets taken all the way down into orange, but he is able to get the kill on the Blue. Such a close game.
I really like Cake's maneuvering around simpLe in the edgeguard scenario. It happened last game too, where Cake was left with not many options, and simpLe went for the edgeguard, and Cake went around him instead of going straight up. And we saw that the last edgeguard scenario. Cake got above him, got the spear dare, and got the kill. So we'll see if Cake can pull out more edgeguard shenanigans that he did in the first few games. And this one, especially since he's down in damage. Gotta make a play.
Ooh, Cake looking for the dares onto simple, but simple turns it around. Blue's on the other side, ground pound.
That was
And
great. That was great awareness from Blue. Just ready.
Cake, he was looking to go to the other side of the stage, but just the fact that Blue was there, Blue was able to continue that momentum. So you got to be so careful when you go onto that stage. Who's on the other side to greet you?
Eddie and Cake right now. Down. Definitely, definitely down. Yeah, no, duh. But at the same time, they've been in this situation. I think it was game 1, and they made the comeback, and Addy made the clutch for the 2v1. So Cake, he's got to stay alive. He doesn't want to force the 2v1 scenario again. Even he knows Addy can do it, but you never want to force your teammate into that, and that's why he's cleaning up. He's staying a little safer, not going too ham, not like spamming his attack button too much. Picking up these weapons, keeping simple off of anything. Well, until that last little moment there.
I love that Addy got the chase dodge from the neutralite and used it to pick up a nair on the opposite end of the red team. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get the kill. The ground pound is finally going to take out Addy. Cake trying to get as much of a punish onto Simple as he possibly can, but he's got to be so careful that Blue doesn't turn around and knock him out. He's got to be able to keep himself alive as long as possible to give Addy the buffer to take the win for the team. Neutralite from Addy to get more damage onto Simple. Both teams are looking to take out the weakest link on the opposite end. Blue gets knocked out. Addy neutralite.
Nice pickup from Addy.
Ooh, can they get this kill here? The dare. He gets the hit onto Blue. He doesn't even need the chase dodge there, though.
Simple staying alive somehow. Cake gets taken out, and it's a 2v1 once again. A very familiar situation from game 1. We'll see if Addy can clutch it out once again. This is winners finals. The winner goes on to grands. Game 5. It's so close.
Blue just slowly using Qatar's sidelights to continue to rack up small bits of damage. The axe side air, the weapon throw. Blue is ready for it. He doesn't quite find it. Simple use that neutralite. Blue with the ground pound. And Blue and
it's
Simple
the payback.
moving into grand finals.
He's like, the ground pound may have lost us the first game, but it will win us the set.